December 30th, 2020. Let's do the Outlaw Pulpit. This morning I want to talk about COVID. Now, I'm wearing this mask because, and isn't it something? It was made by hands. So I guess technically I'm wearing my tidy whities over my face. I mean, look at that thing. Well, the reason I'm wearing it is because I'm quarantined in a room in my house, the breezeway. And that is because I tested positive this morning for COVID. And that's what I want to talk about with you this morning or whenever you're watching this. Yesterday, my dad tested positive, which is a little more of a scary situation because he's going to be 81 in a couple weeks. And he had a really bad cough, and now he's losing his appetite. And so we're really encouraging him to eat and all of that stuff. And I developed the cough Monday night and just soreness in the chest and all of that stuff. So, but it's interesting, isn't it? Because here and I'm not going to make this political or anything like this, but we're told to wear masks, and I do it religiously to grocery stores or wherever we go. In fact, we're even doing our church here in Wisconsin virtually, and yet still got it. My kids are homeschooled; they're virtual for the school year, and it's just interesting. Now, I'm going to take this off for a minute because I feel like I sound like Kenny from South Park. But anyways, the whole thing about this is that what I kind of relate this to is, masks, I guess they do help. They do their part. But if you're going to get it, it just seems like you're going to get it. And, I would just urge people to do your part. When you're out in public, wear one. I realize this has become very politicized and everything. And, for me, honestly, it's no worse right now than a flu bug. I feel kind of fluish and stuff like that. Granted, I'm day 2 into having or 3 into having symptoms and things like that. But what's a bummer for me is that it's going to push my sinus surgery back because I was scheduled for next week. But I'm reminded of the verse in the New Testament, and I don't have my Bible here or anything because, as I said, my wife, who is a nurse, said, let's just have you out in this room until this thing passes. So I'm reminded of the verse, though, where Paul, the Apostle Paul, says, don't do anything to cause your brother to stumble. I think, in fact, I know that could apply to this situation, really. If you're going to not wear a mask out or anything like that, then, what I would say is that's up to you. Honestly, it truly is up to you. But maybe consider going to that grocery store then in the wee hours of the morning or late at night when there's less people. Or if you're going to wear a mask, well, then don't get on a high horse looking down at everybody else saying, you evil people. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I get it, both sides. I honestly do. But what concerns me about COVID is that I'll probably motor through it just fine outside of the cold stuff. And I even got a sinus plug nose and stuff. But I do worry about my dad. And that's what we need to think about, is that for those of you that have had it or those of you that might get it, you might motor through it just fine because your immune system or you're younger or whatever. But we really have to be careful of the older people in our life and those that have immune compromises because as Paul said, we don't want to cause anybody to stumble, and I think stumbling could even be getting someone sick, especially if we know that we can do our part. I'll be honest with you, I hate face masks. Like I said, this looks like a tidy whitey on my face. But at the same time, and those of you that don't know what tidy whities are, it's another name for underwear, especially considering these are made by Hanes. But to do your part, I hate face masks. I honestly do. But for me to go into the local grocer or the gas station, or whatever, I throw one on. Maybe it's prevented me from getting it up to this point. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, nor do I pretend to play one on TV. But I guess at the end of the day is let's just do our part. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's cool. Okay. But then maybe go places when it's less crowded and you can be more by yourself. But if you do got to go somewhere, maybe mask up, just have one in your pocket, and ultimately it comes down to your decision, and that's cool. I respect that. But I guess that's it. It's a short Outlaw Pulpit this week because honestly, I can't get down to my computer. It's all hardwired in and everything, so I'm just using my iPhone right now, and just felt like I wanted to chat a little bit. And this is typically the day that my Outlaw Pulpit comes out. So, anyways, for those of you that are going through it, I'm praying for you. Those of you that aren't, I pray that you stay healthy. And man, I'll be honest with you, I've lost probably 5 or 6 friends to this thing, and they were all older and stuff. But it kind of bothers me a little bit when people say, "Well, only this many people died." I get that. It is a small percentage. It really is, but they're still people. And a lot of them were my friends, and so you just kind of have mixed emotions about it. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't cause anyone to stumble. Do your part, and let's look forward to a good 2021. I love you. Have a great day.